Hello, everybody. My name is Lisa Lamont. I am the host of Ladies, Get Your Prance On. I hope everybody is so excited going into the holiday season. And my special guest, we're talking special guest. She is a guest host on a local television show. She is from Texas. Her name is Doneane. Okay, how do I say it? I already messed up.
Doneane Beckcom.
Okay, Doneane Beckcom. We were talking about, I have this thing about being frozen with people's names. I don't know what that block is. And she is going to be sharing with us. She wrote this amazing book. If you can hold that up.
Yes.
It's called Eat, Drink, and Be Merry. And it's about going into menopause. And I just recently came out of menopause. And so I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Thank you.
One of the things that I found really interesting, because I always like to ask my guests before we start the show, what are some interesting facts that people may not know about you? And what I learned, which was so exciting, is we have a mutual friend, Kat Williford.
Yeah.
So if you could share with us how you know Kat, because a lot of the prancing kittens know Kat.
Well, Kat and I grew up in the same small town in Southeast Texas, Port Arthur, Texas. We are a Gulf Coast town. We're a port city. The petrochemical industry is huge here. And we went to different elementary schools, I believe, but we met each other actually when we were in about the 7th or 8th grade. So we went all the way through middle school and high school together. And then we kind of lost touch after college, and then she moved away and I kind of stayed put. But we reconnected with each other earlier this year on Facebook, and I just owe her a huge debt of gratitude because she's introduced me to so many other people, and my world and my life have changed because of Kat.
It's just that one. I mean, and that's a good point that you make, that one person can make a difference. Like, we have a ripple effect, you know, meeting you, because I got to know you through Jody Harris. And so it's just interesting how everybody interconnects, and you met Jody through Joey Garrity, and so it's like we're all like interconnected. I just love that we're just growing our tribe.
Me too.
I absolutely love it. So the other thing too, I'm going to share a little bit before we get into it. I also learned that you make homemade wine.
I do.
So how did you get into that?
Some right here.
Yes, right there.
Hey, it's noon where I am.
So what got you into making wine? Was it a hobby, or is it still a hobby?
Oh yeah, it's a hobby. I have a neighbor that has made beer and wine for years, and they invited us over and we sampled it, and he told me how easy it is to make, and I thought, well, gosh, we're wine drinkers, and you know, if it's that easy, I want to try it. And so for Christmas 3 years ago, my husband purchased just the basic equipment to get me started. Well, now I have like just a huge winemaking room in the house. And at any given time, I have about 30 gallons of wine that's cooking and getting ready to be bottled. And so I can't sell it because in Texas, our liquor laws, you have to have a special license to be able to sell any type of home brewed beer or homemade wine. But I give it away as gifts, and you know, we take it with us to parties, and we drink a lot of it ourselves.
There you go. Now, is it a red wine, white wine, or both?
I make both. I prefer the darker wines like Malbec and Merlot, Cabernets. My husband likes the sweeter wines like Zinfandels and Prosecco and things like that. And then I've got family members that like Pinot Noir and Pinot Grigio. And so I kind of make a gamut of different wines, but I almost always have a Merlot because that's what I like. Yeah,
that's a good all-around robust wine. So do you have labels? I mean, do you have labels that you've had created for your wine bottles? I'm going into something totally off topic, but I find it very fascinating.
I do. Actually, when I first started, I didn't put any labels on them because I frankly didn't. I was afraid of giving anything away because I didn't know how people were going to react to it because they're different. They don't taste anything like a store-bought wine. They don't have any sulfites or preservatives in them, so you have to drink them fairly quickly because they don't keep.
Yeah.
But then once I started giving them away, I thought, well, we've got to come up with a name and a label. And so, you know, we've got different names for different types of wines and different labels that you can print and stick on the bottles. And I usually only do that around the holidays because I give away a lot of it in the holidays.
So what are a couple of the names that you have going into what are some of the labels? Look, I'm going in deep with you.
Yeah. Well, we have Beckcom Bordeaux.
Ooh.
We have Beckcom Blueberry with pepper infusion. That's what this is right here. This is a blueberry one. It's not made with grapes at all. It's made with fresh blueberries.
I've never heard of that.
It's infused with black peppercorn, which sounds kind of strange, but it gives you just kind of a peppery aftertaste. It's wonderful. So I have to brainstorm and come up with different names as I come up with different concoctions.
Well, we're going to have to get you on Shark Tank next to go on there.
Oh, gosh.
I could totally see on there. So what drove you to write this book? I mean, what inspired you? I wrote a book 5 years ago, called Boot Camp for the Soul, and I felt like it was something I had to do. It's the same thing with you. Did you see a need out there with your business? And talk a little bit about what it is that you do.
Yes, I did. It's been on my bucket list for years that I wanted to write a book, and I actually started writing a fiction book years ago, and then I'd write a little bit and I'd put it down, I'd write a little bit and put it down, and I had no earthly idea how to get a publisher or anything, so I just kind of shelved that idea.
Oh yeah.
Well, when I met Joey earlier this year, and she started working with me in my business, and she created this beautiful marketing campaign for me, the more that she and I talked and the more she learned about me, she said, Doneane, you've got to write a book. She said, you've just got so much knowledge in your head, and you know so much about the women that you want to help that you can't keep this to yourself. You need to write a book. Yeah. And I thought, well, I know that I can. I know that I'm a good writer, but I had never thought about writing a book for my nutrition business. Mm-hmm. But the more I thought about it, I thought, I've been teaching nutrition classes. I've been doing a TV show. I've been doing this for a long time. I have a lot of information. I have a lot of printed information. I just had all sorts of stuff, but I had a lot of stuff in my head that I hadn't yet shared with anybody. So the book was kind of cathartic for me because I talk about my background that led me into becoming a certified nutritionist, because I had a lot of health problems when I was in my 20s and 30s. And it was because I didn't take care of myself. I exercised, but I did not take care of my insides. I didn't care about what I ate or drank. It wasn't important. And taking medications didn't bother me back then. So all of the health conditions that I got because I wasn't taking care of my insides, I was taking medicines for it. And finally, one day I just woke up and said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to figure out what I can do with my nutrition to fix these health conditions so that I don't have to take medication anymore. Well, then once I got over that, then my hormones started going crazy, and I'm getting into perimenopause, and I'm having all of these weird symptoms. And I'm thinking, okay, well, if I could heal my arthritis, my asthma, my digestive issues, I had ulcers. If I could heal that with nutrition, then what can I do with my hormonal symptoms, also with nutrition, to avoid being on hormone replacement therapy? So I was kind of my own lab rat. And I read all of the research about what supplements to take and what herbs and plants and what foods to eat and what foods to stay away from. And I started experimenting with it until I found the combination that was right for me. Yeah. And so that's what this book is about. This book is about my journey to fix my hormone issues and what worked for me, and the things that I know will work for other women.
Yes. And done all the
Yes, I just started writing and writing and writing and writing. And before I knew it, I had a book.
And it's not an overly thick book, sometimes.
No, it's 90 something pages. It's a very easy read. And it's really almost like sitting down and having a conversation with me. I wrote very much from the heart, very conversationally. And it's a good resource. It's got shopping lists in it. It's got checklists for different things. Yeah. And then in the back of the book, it's got all of the resources that I've ever used, all of the books and resources that I've used, and links to things that, that folks can go to for more information.
What is one of the things for women that are premenopausal and menopausal? What is the one food? And I know sugar is like at the, the sugar's at the top of the list. And I've heard and I've read the sugar's like really hidden in so many things, like ketchup is like horrible. I mean, it's like bad sugar and all sorts of bad stuff in ketchup. What are some of the things that you see women out there that may not know of unhealthy foods that are like hidden maybe in foods?
Well, any and all processed foods have just got to go, because the chemical load that is in processed foods, our bodies don't recognize that as food. And when you're in menopause and you're experiencing hormone symptoms, your hormones are out of whack, your body is working really hard to find balance. Yeah. And if you're putting a chemical load in your body that your body doesn't recognize, then it's going to work that much harder to try to detoxify and get that crap out of your system. Yeah. So you're really working your body against itself while it's trying so hard to keep you in balance, and you're putting stuff in that's making it work that much harder. So processed foods, anything that comes in a bag, a box, a can, you really have to become a savvy shopper and learn how to read nutrition labels and look for the things like trans fats, hydrogenated things, monodiglycerides. I mean, things that you can't pronounce, you don't need to be eating unless it's a vitamin compound, because some of those are a little hard to pronounce.
Well, and there's a lot of, if you look, a lot of people are going into January and they want to lose the weight. So they're going to starve themselves, and then they'll go get the cardboard frozen food. And if you mention these ingredients, if they turn over because they said, oh, it's 290 calories and it's already, it's done. You turn over and you look at those, you can't read the words that are in these processed cardboard boxes.
Yes. And especially the, things that are convenient like that typically have a lot of sodium. Yes. And sodium is another thing that you don't want to have when you're having hormonal menopausal symptoms. Yeah. A lot of them also have added sugar, artificial colors, artificial flavors, all of those chemical things that you really just don't want to put in your body.
I had a nutritional guest on my show a while back, and she shared with me, it was an eye-opener, because we buy organic milk, and we've been buying fat-free. And she's like, that's one of the things to be afraid of. She said, you're better off buying 2% or 1%, because the fat-free is sugar. It's just sugar water. Looks like milk. And that was one of my big eye-openers. She said, she shared that with me, and I went, wow, because we've been doing fat-free organic milk, thinking, oh, we can drink it, it's healthy. And she said, it's really not. You're better off having 1 or 2%. That was something she shared. I'm like, and she also shared about avocados. Like, there's healthy fats. Like, stay away from these. You don't want to overdo nuts that are fats. Those are healthy fats. You don't want to overdo avocados, but your liver processes those one ingredient foods so much easier.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's why, if you're experiencing any disease process, like I had arthritis and asthma, if you have anything going on in your body, you want your body to not have to work as hard digesting your food and processing it and putting it where it needs to be. So getting back to a more natural diet. And I tell people, eat things as close to their natural state as possible. Yes. If it comes in a bag, a box, or a can, it has been processed. It's had stuff added to it. Yeah. But if you go to the farmer's market and you purchase produce there from farmers that are not using pesticides, and, you're purchasing eggs from chickens that actually get to roam out, on the grass and do what chickens do, your body is going to be so much better off, and your symptoms will get under control so much quicker if you just get rid of that chemical load that we're putting in. And sometimes we can't avoid it. We're exposed to chemicals every day. You walk outside, you're exposed to the exhaust of cars. There's pollution in the air that lands on your skin, that gets in your pores, that gets in your bloodstream. So, we're constantly fighting a battle to keep ourselves healthy and keep from being exposed to that kind of thing. But the less we put in by the choices we make of what we eat and drink, the healthier we can be.
Yeah. And people talk about the cost of organic foods and things like that. It's going to cost you more with your health.
Yes.
It's work.
Yes.
Work because you're sick, you have colds, your body is and
exactly.
Also, I heard you say a couple of times too that our bodies have to work harder to process, and I want the viewers to know she doesn't mean process losing weight, like that's not processing.
Right.
it's harder on your immune and your vital organs.
Yes.
To do that. So I kind of want to make a clarity on that, because a lot of people think, well, my body will work harder, I'll lose more weight. No,
no.
That your organs are going, what are you doing to me?
Exactly.
So it's wonderful. The other thing too that if you would talk about essential oils a little bit, and then we're going to talk about, you have a great program coming up in January I want to talk about. But
Yes.
I also wanted you to maybe touch on essential oils, because I'm really embracing that in 2016. And I don't think a lot of people really understand there's a benefit to essential oils.
Oh, absolutely. I've been using essential oils for about the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I primarily got into it, again, because I don't like taking medication. I'm trying to limit the chemical load that I have in my home, as far as, bath and beauty products that I use, cleaning products that I use. And so I started doing some research into essential oils. There's people that are selling, some of the different brands, the marketing out there. And just for my own benefit, I started doing some research to see, okay, what oils can I use for cleaning purposes? And what oils can I, sorry about that.
That's okay.
What oils can I use for, if I get a sore throat, or if I have sinus issues, what things can I use that are not medicinal, that are not chemical, that have been around as long as the earth has been here?
Yes.
So, and I can tell you, in the last 3 years, I get allergies. I think everybody experiences allergies at some point or another during the year. And my allergies used to get so bad that I would end up with a sinus infection. I'd end up at the doctor. I'd be on steroids and medicine and the stuff that I didn't want to be on. Well, since I've started using essential oils, I can count on one hand the number of times that has happened in 3 years. And it used to happen multiple times per year. Like this time of year, I'd be sick over and over and over again. Well, some of the oils that are blended, we can use as antiseptic, disinfectant. You can use them internally. I've washed out my sinuses with an oil blend that prevents bacteria from forming in your sinus cavities. Yeah. So I am a true believer in the use and the power of essential oils.
Yes.
I use it every day.
I just started this summer, and I'm like really into it. And I have them going in my house, and even I have oils that like at nighttime to calm me down and just have it relaxing. But I also have the uplifting. Like I love citrus, the smell of citrus. I just love that. It's just like zesty, and so it's weird. I have different, the different scents for different times of the day. I just absolutely love it. So I would love for you to share with the viewers. You have this really awesome deal coming up in January. If you would love to share that with the viewers.
I have a program that is a 30-day, I call it my 30-day jump start. And, everybody wants to get in shape for the new year. And so January is the perfect time to do it. But it's really for any time that you feel like it's time to have a reset. It's time to, really focus on what I need to do to eat healthy, to get better sleep, to get some moderate exercise a few times a week. So this is a 30-day plan that will start on January the 1st. And it's all done online, every bit of it. You get an email every day. There's a Facebook group that I have that I post into each day. And then there's tons of resources that come with the program also. There's a healthy shopping guide. There's a guide that has some tips about what to do when you eat out, just to keep from falling off track when you're trying to eat healthy. And it's a program that can help you lose weight if that's what you want to do. But it's really just to kind of give you the basics that you need if you're ready to make a lifestyle change. This is not a quick fix. I don't believe in diets. In fact, I don't even use that word with any of my clients. This is a lifestyle change that will help you to start changing your habits over that 30-day period. Because research shows that it takes about 21 days to change a habit. If you have a bad habit that you want to get rid of, or you want to start a new healthier habit, it takes about 21 days. Well, this program lasts for 30 days. So you've got an extra 9 days to help you make that healthy change. Yes. And they're all just really small, simple steps that you can do. It's not some great, big, huge, all or nothing thing, because you get little tidbits of information each day that can help you start the year off right and make some changes so that as the months come on into 2017, you can continue using those healthy habits, because they're things that once you start them and you start to see, oh, I feel better, I look better, I'm sleeping better. Once you start to see those small changes to happen, it really is a self-motivation to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So that'll start January 1st.
And I love that it's a 30-day program, that it does push you through, because it's true, it does take 21 days to break a habit, but it takes longer that to create a new one. And so you've got this program that they can keep repeating though too. I mean, they're going to learn and take the tools. And I love, there is no overnight fix, ladies. There is no pill to swallow that is going to have you lose 30, 50 pounds in 30 days. That's crazy, and it's hard on our vital, especially women over 40, over 50. Yes. Every time you diet, you are being hard on your organs. And organs are older and older, and something that we could do when we were 20, 30, it's just like, I can't go out and run a marathon, I can build up to it. 6 years ago, I did a half marathon, but I built up to it. It isn't something you can just go out and do. And this all goes back to self-love. Like investing in yourself. We have no problem with driving through a Starbucks and spending $5 on a Starbucks coffee, but yet to go and spend, $5 on some fresh organic fruits to eat instead and feel good, your body will respond. And I just love that you came on the show to talk about this. Is there anything else that you would like to share? Any tips that you would like to share with the viewers that watch this?
Well, as far as anyone that is now experiencing either perimenopause or you're right in the middle of menopause and you really don't want to be on hormone replacement therapy, just know that there are so many natural solutions to every symptom that you're having, whether it's hot flashes or night sweats or insomnia or mood swings. There is a natural solution for every single one of them. And I would encourage women that are in that place, and maybe you have a doctor who is trying to push hormone replacement therapy on you and you really don't want that. You've read the research, you're not happy with the long-term effects of it. Find someone who is supportive, because I promise you, for every doctor that's not supportive of your health choices, there's going to be 2 or 3 other doctors that will be supportive. So, ask your friends. That's the best place to start, is ask your girlfriends, who do you go to, and are they supportive of your choices when it comes to not wanting to take medication and not wanting to take hormones? So I promise you'll be able to find someone who's supportive, and then have them help you.
Do you have links in your book too that talk about, where to get that information? Do you have any of that in your book, or is it just tips and stuff?
There are some resources at the end of the book. There's a ton of different websites and then resources for the research that I did in creating the book.
Can you hold the book up again, please, so they can? And I'm going to put a link to the show so they can find the book. So.
Eat, drink, and be merry through menopause, and look at the wine glass on the front. How appropriate.
I know. Now that makes sense. Now it makes sense. Isn't wine, though, healthy? I mean, what is it? I hear things coming back and forth about wine. What is it about wine that is healthy that people may not know?
Well, it's the darker red wines that are good for your circulation, because there is a powerful antioxidant in red wine called resveratrol. Now, in order to get enough resveratrol to really help you, you have to drink a lot of wine. So that's not what I'm proposing. You can take you can take resveratrol as a supplement and get the benefit, the antioxidant benefit of it. But 1 to 2 glasses of red wine in the evening before you go to bed is really good for your circulation. It relaxes you, first of all. It's what's called a vasodilator. So it opens up your blood vessels, helps your blood to flow, kind of thins out your blood. Now, the lighter wines don't do that. So if you're a white wine drinker, not so much. So you might want to try some of the darker wines, like, start with a Cabernet, maybe move to Merlot, and then get really brave and try a Malbec. Those are the ones that are really, really good for your circulation, have that antioxidant load.
That's good to know. That is good to know. It is such a pleasure having you on the show today. I'm so excited that you came on and you were able to share, and we learned a little bit more about you and your connection to Kat and Joey and Jody and Kelly Cox. It's just, you also, one more thing I forgot to add, you have your own radio show. So can you share with us about your radio show and where they can find that?
I do. It's boldradiostation.com. every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, I host a show with Kelly Cox, and it is called Hot Mamas Living Better at Any Age. Yeah. And we talk about women's issues, and it's really fun and lighthearted, even though sometimes we talk about, some issues that are difficult. I mean, we talk about hormone issues and eating right and losing weight and, all the things that are kind of bleh. But, we have a really good time doing it. And then I also am on the Women's Broadcast Television Network. It's a brand new all women's TV network. And you can find that at wbtvn.com. And I host a show called Fit and Healthy After 50 with Doneane. And if they go to that website, they can see I've got all of the local TV segments that I do here posted on that page, so they can learn little tidbits about different things in health and nutrition and hormone imbalance and all sorts of stuff.
Great. And I will make sure all those links are attached to the show too. So it's been
great.
A pleasure having you on, and maybe in the spring, if you have time, I'd love to have you back on. So talking about getting ready to go into summer, because that's another, people like to jumpstart. So thank you for being on the show. And for those of you who are premenopausal, menopausal, get on Amazon, get her book, and you'll be feeling good. We don't need to medicate. I'm telling you, I was on antidepressants for over 10 years, and I've been off of them for 6 years, and I'm checked back in. I feel like I've just been clouded for all those years.
Wow.
And so, you want to do it through doctors. You don't want to just, cut out any medications without speaking to your doctor first. And I also encourage people to maybe check into a naturopath. They have a lot of healthy alternatives too. So everybody, thank you. We'll be back next Monday with another exciting guest. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.